Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you. Every decision we make shapes the course of our lives. Some choices bring us joy, some bring us lessons, and some leave us wondering what could have been. But the truth is, regret is not born from making the wrong choices. It is born from refusing to take responsibility for them. The regret you will drown in is not the mistakes you make, but the ones you refuse to own. I have made countless decisions in my life, some that worked in my favor and some that didn't. I have walked into rooms where I was told I wasn't good enough. I have taken risks that people warned me against. I have chosen paths that were uncertain, uncomfortable, and at times terrifying. But the one thing I have never done is blame my choices on anyone else. Because the moment you let someone else take responsibility for your life, you give them power over your future. We often live in the illusion that life gives us do-overs. That if we don't take action today, we can always come back to it tomorrow. But life is not that kind. Life moves forward whether we do or not. And if we refuse to own our choices, we will look back one day and realize that the only thing holding us back was our own hesitation. The weight of regret is not something that comes all at once. It creeps in slowly, in moments of silence, in opportunities lost, in the words we never said, in the dreams we let slip away. I have seen people paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. They stand still, waiting for a perfect sign, waiting for the universe to whisper the right answer in their ears. But there is no perfect choice. There is only action and inaction. There is only moving forward or staying stuck. And the cruelest thing about time is that it doesn't pause for us to decide. It moves. And if we don't move with it, we are left behind. Owning your choices means understanding that even when things don't go the way you planned, you are still in control of how you respond. It means accepting responsibility for both your triumphs and your failures. It means standing tall even when the world points fingers at you, because you know that every step you have taken has been yours alone. The moment you embrace your choices, you take back your power. You stop drowning in the what-ifs and start focusing on the what's next. People will always have opinions about your life. They will tell you what you should have done, what you could have done, what they would have done if they were in your shoes. But they're not in your shoes. They're not living your life. And the moment you let their voices dictate your decisions, you lose yourself. You become a version of yourself that exists only to please others, and that version will never be enough. Not for them, and certainly not for you. So make the bold choices. Make the scary ones. Make the ones that set your soul on fire. And when things don't work out, don't waste time drowning in regret. Learn from them, grow from them, and then make another choice. Because that is how life works. You don't get to go back and change the past, but you do get to decide how your future unfolds. At the end of the day, the only person who has to live with your choices is you. Not the critics, not the spectators, not even the people who love you the most. Just you. And if you don't take charge of your decisions, you will spend your life drowning in the regret of all the times you let fear, doubt, and hesitation win. So stand firm, make the hard choices, own them no matter the outcome, because the regret of not trying, of not choosing, of not daring, that is the regret you will never escape. Fear is the most deceptive force in our lives. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as the voice of reason whispering in your ear, telling you to wait, to play it safe, to not take the risk. But the truth is, fear is a liar. It doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you small. It doesn't protect you, it traps you. And if you let it, fear will steal every opportunity, every dream, and every moment of growth that is waiting for you on the other side of courage. I have met fear at every stage of my life. It was there when I stepped onto the stage as a teenager at the Miss World pageant, wondering if I was truly worthy of being there. It was there when I walked onto my first film set, surrounded by people who had been in the industry for years, questioning if I had what it took to make it. And it was definitely there when I left behind the familiarity of Bollywood and stepped into Hollywood, a space where people weren't sure if someone like me could belong. Fear never disappeared. It sat quietly in the back of my mind, waiting for me to listen to it. And for a while, I almost did. I almost let the fear of failure stop me from auditioning for Quantico. I almost let the fear of rejection keep me from knocking on the doors of Hollywood. I almost let the fear of not being accepted make me shrink myself, make me blend in, make me less than who I truly was. But then I realized something. Fear is only powerful when you believe its lies. Fear tells you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you're not worthy of the life you dream of. It convinces you that playing it safe is the best option, that taking risks will only lead to failure. And the worst part? It makes you believe that if you fail, the world will never let you forget it, that people will laugh, that doors will close, that you will never recover. But let me tell you something. Failure is not the enemy. Fear is. I have failed, publicly, privately, spectacularly. I have made mistakes that played out in front of the world. I have taken chances that didn't work out. I have heard the word no more times than I can count. And yet, I am still here. I am still standing. And every single failure has taught me something that fear never could. It has made me stronger, wiser, and bolder. The moments I have failed have never defined me. What defined me was what I chose to do next. Think about it. What is the worst that could happen if you take a risk and fail? You fall down, you get up, you try again. But what happens if you let fear win? You stay stuck. You never know what could have been. You spend your life wondering, regretting, drowning in the what ifs and if onlys. That is far worse than any failure. Fear will always be there. It doesn't go away just because you become successful or experienced. Even the greatest people in the world feel fear. The difference is they don't let it dictate their actions. They move forward anyway. They feel the fear and still take the leap. That is the only way to grow, to evolve, to become the person you were meant to be. So don't let fear be the loudest voice in your head. Don't let it tell you that you're not capable, that you're not ready, that you're not enough. Fear is a liar, and if you listen to it, you will live a life far smaller than the one you were meant for. You have one life, one shot. Don't waste it playing small. Take the risk, step into the unknown, and trust that even if you stumble, you will rise again. Because the only real failure in life is never having tried at all. Success is one of the most deceiving concepts in life. We chase it, crave it, and attach our entire self-worth to it. But here's the truth. Success is borrowed. It is never truly yours. It can be given, taken, celebrated, or forgotten. It fluctuates with time, with trends, with people's opinions. But growth is yours. It is the one thing no one can take from you. It is the one thing that stays, that shapes you, that builds you into the person you are meant to be. I have seen success in many forms. I have walked red carpets, won awards, had my name in lights. I have experienced the thrill of being at the top. But I have also seen the other side. The side where success fades, where people forget, where the applause dies down, and the world moves on to the next big thing. If you build your identity on success alone, you will always feel like you are chasing something fleeting, something that is never truly yours. But if you build yourself on growth, you will always have something real, something lasting. The problem is, we live in a world that glorifies success but doesn't talk enough about the journey. We see the highlight reels, the victories, the achievements, the moments of recognition. But we don't always see the struggle, the late nights, the failures, the rejections, the quiet moments of self-doubt. Success is the surface. Growth is what happens underneath, in the places no one sees, in the moments no one applauds. When I first started in the entertainment industry, success felt like the ultimate goal. I thought if I worked hard enough, if I proved myself enough, I would reach a point where I had made it. But what no one tells you is that there is no such thing as making it. There is no finish line where you finally feel complete. The moment you think you have reached the top, life will show you another mountain to climb. If your only focus is external success, you will always feel like you're running on a treadmill, exhausted but never truly moving forward. That's why growth matters more. Growth means that every challenge, every failure, every setback is making you stronger, wiser, better. Growth means that even when success fades, you are still evolving, still learning, still becoming more than you were before. And that is something no one can take from you. I have seen people who achieve success but never focused on growth. And when success left them, they were lost. They had attached their entire identity to achievements, to numbers, to external validation. But I have also seen people who were deeply committed to growth, and no matter what happened, success or failure, they never lost themselves. Because they knew that real value is not in trophies or titles, it is in who you become along the way. So ask yourself, are you chasing borrowed success, or are you investing in your own growth? Are you focusing on what the world sees, or are you working on who you are when no one is watching? Are you afraid of failing, or are you excited about learning? Success will come and go. It will shine bright for a moment and then move on to someone else. But growth is forever. Growth is what turns failures into lessons, what turns setbacks into stepping stones, what turns dreams into reality. At the end of the day, success is not what defines you. Your ability to keep growing, to keep pushing, to keep evolving, that is what will truly set you apart. Because success may be borrowed, but growth is yours to keep. Love is the most powerful force we have, yet it is the one thing we often hesitate to express. We hold back, afraid of being vulnerable, afraid of not being loved in return, afraid of showing too much. But love is not meant to be contained. It is meant to be felt, to be shared, to be given freely and unapologetically. The greatest regret we carry is not the love we gave, but the love we were too afraid to express. I have learned that love in all its forms is the one thing that truly matters. Not success, not fame, not wealth, just love. The love of your family, your friends, your partner, your passions, and most importantly, the love you have for yourself. Yet, so many of us go through life treating love as something that needs to be measured, something that needs to be earned, something that makes us weak if we show it too openly. But the truth is, love is the bravest thing you can ever give. We live in a world that teaches us to be guarded, to not text first, to not say I love you too soon, to act like we don't care when we do. We think that holding back gives us power, that it protects us from heartbreak, but all it really does is create distance. It keeps us from experiencing the deepest, most meaningful connections. It makes us live small, restrained, afraid. And one day we wake up and realize that the people we love are no longer there, that the moments we could have cherished are gone, that the words we wanted to say are left unspoken. I have lost people I loved. I have seen relationships fade, not because the love wasn't there, but because it wasn't expressed enough. I have realized that love needs to be loud, it needs to be felt, it needs to be known, because love, when left unspoken, is love that is never truly lived. So say what you feel, tell people they matter, tell them you appreciate them, show up for them, not just when it's convenient, but when they need you the most. Hug them a little tighter, laugh a little louder, love a little harder, and do it without apology. Because love is not something to be embarrassed about. It is the only thing in this world that truly lasts. And don't forget to love yourself too. Love yourself loudly, boldly, without waiting for permission. Be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, celebrate yourself. Because the way you love yourself sets the tone for how you love others and how you let others love you in return. At the end of it all, we won't regret the risks we took in love. We will only regret the times we let fear keep us from expressing it. So love loudly, love fully, love without apology. Because that is the only way love was ever meant to be. Time is the one thing in life we can never get back. Money, opportunities, even relationships can come and go, but time, once it's spent, it's gone forever. And yet, so many of us live as if we have an unlimited supply. We waste it on things that don't matter, on people who don't appreciate us, on fears that hold us back. We keep waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign from the universe. But the truth is, the right time is now, because if you don't use your time fiercely, one day you will look back and realize that life passed you by while you were waiting for it to begin. I have learned this lesson the hard way. There were moments when I hesitated, when I let doubt keep me from taking action. There were times I thought, maybe later, maybe when I feel more ready, maybe when the timing is perfect. But life does not wait for you to feel ready. The world does not pause until you decide to show up. And if you don't take control of your time, it will slip through your fingers, leaving you with nothing but regret. Nothing would be worse than not knowing yourself. Look around you. How many people do you know who are stuck in jobs they hate, in relationships that drain them, in routines that don't inspire them? They tell themselves they'll make a change someday, they'll chase their dreams someday, they'll start living someday, but someday is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. Someday is not a date on the calendar, someday is an excuse. And if you keep waiting for it, you will wake up one day and realize that your time has run out. If you have a dream, start now. If you have a passion, pursue it now. If you have people you love, tell them now, because nothing is guaranteed. Not next year, not next month, not even tomorrow. The only moment you truly have is this one. So don't waste it. Don't waste it on things that don't bring you joy. Don't waste it trying to meet expectations that don't align with who you are. Don't waste it living someone else's version of success instead of creating your own. And don't be afraid to walk away from anything that is stealing your time without giving you something valuable in return. Time is too precious to spend on toxic relationships, on self-doubt, on meaningless distractions. Protect your time the way you protect your dreams. Fiercely, unapologetically, without hesitation. People will try to tell you that you have plenty of time, that you can always do it later, that you don't have to rush. But that's not true. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world are the ones who understand the value of time. They don't wait for life to happen to them. They take action. They make things happen. They live with urgency, not out of fear, but out of a deep understanding that every moment is an opportunity that will never come again. So ask yourself, are you using your time wisely? Are you spending it on things that bring you closer to your goals? Are you filling your days with passion, purpose, and intention? Or are you letting time slip away, assuming that you'll always have more of it? Because one day all of us will reach a point where we run out of time. And when that moment comes, I want to look back and know that I lived, that I took chances, that I pursued my dreams, that I didn't let fear, doubt, or hesitation steal a single second from me. I want to know that I used my time fiercely, fully, without apology. And I hope you will too, because at the end of it all, it won't be the things you did that you regret. It will be the things you didn't do, the time you didn't use, the moments you let slip away. So don't wait, don't hesitate, live now, because your time is finite, and the only way to truly honor it is to use it fiercely. Failure is something that many of us fear, often to the point where it holds us back from trying at all. The thought of not succeeding, of falling short, of facing embarrassment or disappointment can be paralyzing. But what if I told you that the only thing worse than failing is not starting at all? In fact, the regret of never trying, of never taking that first step, is far greater than any failure you could face along the way. I've failed many times. I've had dreams that didn't materialize, projects that didn't succeed, relationships that didn't work out, and moments where I simply wasn't enough. But I've learned something valuable in every one of those experiences. Failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson. It is not something to avoid, but something to embrace, because with each failure, you are one step closer to understanding what works, what doesn't, and ultimately what will make you succeed. The truth is, no one ever succeeds without failing. The greatest achievements in life are often built upon a foundation of setbacks. Think about it. Every great inventor, artist, entrepreneur, or leader you admire has faced failure. They didn't get to the top without stumbling along the way. The only difference between them and those who never reach their full potential is that they didn't let failure stop them. They didn't let the fear of failure prevent them from starting. They understood that failing is just a part of the journey, not the end of it. So why do so many of us hesitate to start? Why do we stand on the edge, paralyzed by the fear of falling when we could be flying? Often it's because we are afraid of being judged, of looking foolish, of facing rejection. We care too much about what others think and not enough about what we think about ourselves. But here's the truth. No one will remember your failures as much as you do. People may laugh, they may criticize, but in the end, the only opinion that matters is your own. If you let the fear of judgment stop you from starting, you'll spend your entire life wondering what could have been. The only thing worse than failing is the feeling of what if. The thoughts that keep you awake at night, the dreams you never pursued, the projects you never started, the risks you never took. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid the discomfort of putting yourself out there. But comfort zones don't lead to growth. Comfort zones don't lead to success. And comfort zones definitely don't lead to fulfillment. Think about the things you've wanted to do, the passions you've wanted to pursue, the dreams you've kept on the back burner. Why haven't you started? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of not being good enough? Is it the fear of looking silly? Understand this. Failure is not the worst outcome. The worst outcome is staying exactly where you are, stuck in indecision, trapped by fear, living a life full of regrets about what could have been. Every step you take, even a small one, is progress, and with each small step, you learn, you grow, you evolve. But if you stand still, if you don't take that first step, you remain exactly where you are, stagnant, unfulfilled, and regretful. The time you waste wondering if you're ready, if it's the right time, if you'll succeed or fail, it's time that you'll never get back. In the end, the only thing worse than failing is looking back at your life and realizing you never even tried. The missed opportunities, the potential you never reached, the dreams you never chased, those are the true failures. So take that step. Fail, learn, get up, and try again. Because the only way to avoid the greatest regret of all is to start. To give yourself permission to fail, to take risks, to grow. You will never know what you are truly capable of unless you start. And every failure along the way will only bring you closer to success, so don't wait. The time to start is now, so stand up, speak up, and never let regret steal your future.